What's up guys, it's BT here, and this is the review of the Steelseries Apex Pro full-sized keyboard. Now this caused a lot of commotion at Computex because they have these Omnipoint adjustable switches. That's right, you can adjust the actuation point of these switches via the software. But this new technology comes at a price of $200 for the full-size and $180 for the TKL. Whew. So today I'm going to be going over whether the Apex Pro is worth your hard-earned cash or if you're better off just sticking with some good old Cherry MX switches. Starting off with what's in the box, you're going to get the keyboard with the Series 5000 aircraft grade aluminum. On the back, it's got a non-detachable cord, and this thing is thick, okay? Now you can like funnel this 3 different ways out the back of the keyboard, which is kind of nice, but I would have liked to have seen a detachable cord. On the cable itself, it's got 2 different USBs. One is for the actual keyboard, and then one is for the USB pass-through, which you'll find on the left side of the keyboard. So what this can do is it can actually interact with your computer. So let's say you want to plug in your mouse straight to there. You don't want it to go through the back of your computer and you don't have enough room. It's cool to kind of just have those 2 right there and you can just use it that way. I do wish that the cable was a little bit longer for my desk and for my position of my computer. It's kind of too far away. I had to use a USB extender to actually use this keyboard. Also on the back of the keyboard, you'll find 3 keyboard feet at the front of the keyboard, and you'll find 2 kickstands at the back, so you can have it at 2 different levels. I would have liked to seen a 3-level stand like Ducky does, and the keyboard feet aren't that great. This keyboard kind of slides around on my wooden desk a lot, so keep that in mind. I kind of wish that they made them a little bit more grippier. The keyboard itself has RGB, of course, and it's got an open casing allowing the RGB to shine out, but I didn't find the RGB to be too impressive. I don't know, it just isn't that bright to me. So the good thing about a full-size keyboard is that you get that scroll wheel back for multimedia, because I'm a huge music listener, and like when I'm playing games and stuff like that, I'll heighten up my music when I'm really feeling it in game. So I really like having that scroll wheel there over like a 60% keyboard. They've also added in a screen at the top of the keyboard as well, and this is where you can see like your actuation, what songs are playing, your profiles, your volume, and that's a really nice touch. You can also change the logo from the Steelseries logo to any upload that you want, so you can take a picture and just upload it to your keyboard and it'll actually show a little picture of it on the top. So if you have a logo like a BT or whatever it is that you have, you can just put it up top and it will show on your keyboard, which is kind of cool. To use the multimedia keys, there's no multimedia keys, like there's no skip track, pause, and anything like that. There's only that one button, and it kind of acts like a phone. So if you tap it once, it's going to pause and play the song. If you hit it 3 times, it's going to go backwards. If you hit it 2 times, it's going to go forward. And if you hold it, it will show the menu with all the drop downs. So the keycaps themselves are ABS, and I was a little bit disappointed. For $200, these started to just shine after a couple of days. I mean, I'm already looking at my keyboard and it's not looking pretty. So I wish they would have added some more quality keycaps into the keyboard. So now on to the main selling point of this keyboard, which is those Omnipoint switches. They've got a 0.7 millisecond response time compared to a 5 millisecond on the fastest Cherry MX Speed Silver. So a huge difference there, right, in response time. They've also got a actuation point of 0.4 millimeters on the lowest setting, which is a 1, to a 10 setting, which is a 3.6 millimeter actuation point. So let's say you're a gamer, you want to switch to something faster, you can do the 0.4. If you're a typist and you want something that, you know, will definitely, you won't mess up and get a lot of errors on, you can increase the actuation as well. So a lot of adjustability there with the key switch, and that can be awesome for a lot of people out there. And let me tell you, I definitely noticed a difference when I switched to that 0.4 millimeters. I do wish that in the software there was somewhere to like show you what actuation you actually like best. There's only kind of like a 1 through 10 system, and it doesn't really tell you what actuation point you're at. So I think that in a future update they should add that in. The 0.4 millimeter actuation is the fastest on the market, but does fast always mean good? I mean, me personally in game, like let's say I took my mind off the keyboard for a second, I would actually start veering off to the left or right in game, and it kept happening. I thought something was like wrong with my mouse. So you really have to be conscious and like really get used to the actuation of this keyboard. Now you can definitely tell a difference with that 0.4 millimeters. It is blazing fast. Okay, when you're in game and you want to go a certain way, you can go a certain way. How much it actually helps your gameplay, that's another story. I don't think that it affects your gameplay that much. You know, I think it's more dependent on your mouse switches. That'd be cool if they made some Omnipoint switches for your mouse, right? But for your keyboard, I feel like that's kind of secondary. And I feel like once you become comfortable with your setup, I feel like that trumps a 0.4mm switch. I highly doubt that somebody is getting killed over a 0.4mm actuation versus a 1.2mm actuation. I don't think it happens. I think it comes down to like game sense and things like that. Maybe if you had a game like Osu or something like that where you use your keyboard, that might actually help in that game. But for first-person shooters, I don't really see this being a huge deal. But anyways, guys, let's drop a sound test for you guys right about now. The actual actuation force needed to press down the key is 45 grams, which is the same as a Cherry MX Speed Silver. Also guys, the stabilizers are actually pretty good. They're decent. Let's drop a sound test for you guys so you guys can hear what I'm talking about. So in the software, you'll be able to make macros, you'll be able to change the RGB, the brightness, all that good stuff, and the actuation switches. Also to be mentioned, the Omnipoint switches are only on the main keyboard. Outside of that, like the function rows, the numpads, the arrow keys, all of those are their red switches. So keep that in mind, you're not getting it for the whole keyboard, so don't be surprised when you open it up or you're trying to change your keycaps and you see that they're different. For me, I don't know, why wouldn't they just go all the way and change all of them? Maybe somebody might need to use the function row really fast. Why not give people the option of having the whole keyboard be Omnipoint switches? It kind of seems like you're trying to save money on the production. I don't know. Who knows? You can also change the switches individually. So let's say you want to have your WASD be a different actuation than the rest of your keyboard. You can do that as well. So a lot of different combinations and cool things that you can do with the software. I don't know. It just seems a little bit gimmicky to me, to be honest with you. For $200, this is, I don't know. I'd rather, $200. I like what they're doing with the keyboard. I like where they're going, but I think it it's kind of gimmicky in a way because people have been succeeding with mechanical keyboards for so long. I would like, okay, hear me out. I would like for them to like be able to change like where the tactile bump is. Now that would be dope on like a tactile switch. If they could do that, that would be pretty dope and groundbreaking. This right here, to me, it's semi-groundbreaking. So you came here wanting to know whether this is worth it over some Cherry MX switches. I don't think so. I think you're better off sticking with your current keyboard. I think it'll do you just fine. Once you get used to it, it's more about your game sense and the way you play and getting used to your setup and just becoming comfortable with what you have. I think that it's becoming so negligible, right? That 0.4mm will not really help you in game, especially if you're heavy-handed. You're also paying that first adapter's tax for being one of the first people to get it. So you're paying that $200 for the full size. That just hurts, man. That just hurts. That's 2 Ducky 1-2 minis, guys. Woo. Ooh. No, personally, I would wait and see if they can develop this technology more. Like I said, maybe make a tactile version where like you can change where it kind of the bump is. Now that would be groundbreaking. That it's Steelseries. If you're watching this, that would be groundbreaking. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for my review of the Steelseries Apex Pro keyboard. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.